I think the saddest thing about this documentary is realizing that it was just a reality TV show. I, like everybody else, watched the Reality Check America's Next Top Model doc, and I actually didn't think it was that extensive. I didn't think it got into really anything. I thought it was very surface level, and I thought it was like low-key a mid documentary. If you're anything like me and you like to beat a dead horse and you want to get more into it, more into the lore, there's actually a podcast called The Curse of America's Next Top Model, and it talks about Isis' storyline and some of the stuff that she had to deal with behind the scenes. It talks about that season where Angeli won but got disqualified, so they reshot the last episode and Allison actually won. It talked about the girls' day-to-day budgets and what it was really like after winning, and it even talked about how some of them won and didn't even get the winnings from it. It gets so much more into depth and paints a full picture of America's Next Top Model. I would definitely say, first and foremost, I don't think it's really fair to watch America's Next Top Model with a 2020 lens. As much as people want to say like, well, you guys could have been nicer, they could have did X, Y, and Z. The reality of it was modeling in the early 2000s. You had to be as skinny as a toothpick. And I think for some people who don't realize, like, popping body type is trendy in pop culture, and it's not always one thing. It may be one thing in certain cultures, but in main pop culture, the ideal body type is always changing. And in the early 2000s, for a model, it was skinny as a toothpick, heroin chic, size 2. That was it. If you was a size 6, you were considered fat. It sounds ridiculous, but if you look at the tabloids at that time, they were calling Beyonce fat. They were saying J-Lo's butt was huge. They were calling Mariah Carey fat. It wasn't a real place, and you guys can't fathom it if you weren't there, but that's what it was. And I think what America's Next Top Model did was just mirror what was going on at that time. And I think for the most part, Tyra would try and be like lenient and more open. Janice Dickinson was really like, she was really the mean bitch type where she was just calling everybody fat, calling everybody ugly for no reason. But I feel like Tyra would try at least to be a little more lenient and push the boundaries on what beauty standards were. And when she started the show, I genuinely believe that she did want to change the beauty industry and change what people thought was beautiful, because she was also a victim of being called fat, being called way too curvy, being excluded for certain things because she was Black. So I do think that initially and in her heart of hearts, that was the point of starting America's Next Top Model. But as the show went on, I definitely think playing on people's trauma, drumming up unnecessary drama between people really took the stage. And to be fair, we did eat it up. We ate it up. We enjoyed every minute of it. That's why it was a top-rated TV show. I was even watching some of the clips in the documentary and I felt myself getting giddy. Like, I need to run this show back. Like, I need to watch it again because I loved it that much. I was tuned in every single time. Back when it was on UPN, back when you could watch it on the CW, I was tuned into America's Next Top Model. And especially in those earlier seasons, the girls were trying so hard to become good models. Jay Manuel was putting together some beautiful editorials. But at the end of the day, the real ratings came from the dramatic makeover episodes, from the crazy weirdo photo shoots, and the dangerous catwalks that we had to watch the models walk. We were more invested in seeing if they were gonna push through all the obstacles than we were to see if they were a good model. And the modeling and the editorials ended up taking more of a backseat. And I think while Tyra was dead ass wrong sometimes, I think that the biggest crime, especially at that time, because it's not like there was Instagram. It's not like people were getting on a show and then they had 100,000 followers. I think these girls genuinely believed, just like I guess we genuinely believed, like, okay, if I get on this show, I have a real shot at becoming a model. And kind of letting them believe that when she knew, which she has said, that she knew that once these girls, whether they won the competition or not, once they try to get into the modeling world, everybody in the fashion world would just see them as reality TV stars. They didn't see them as models. It was just like, oh, they was just on that TV show. Playing into that facade of, oh, you get on this show and you're gonna be a world-renowned model, or it's at least gonna be a stepping stone. For a lot of the girls, it wasn't. For some of them, they were able to parlay it and flip it and finesse it, which was amazing. But a lot of them weren't, because a lot of them were 18, 19, wasn't really sure how to, navigate that. And it was just, a little bit of disillusionment, thinking that this was a step to something that it wasn't. This was a reality TV show. And when it comes to the documentary, which is why I don't think this was a good documentary, I don't think it was done well. We are so gung-ho on getting Tyra to be held accountable that she was so busy defending herself instead of really being able to be vulnerable and talk about that tug of war of wanting to diversify the modeling industry, but also being realistic with the girls and talking to people in the industry, telling her she's not gonna get hired. I'm not gonna hire her. The other agencies probably aren't gonna hire her. We didn't get that nuance because the doc was so busy trying to blame her. And I'm not saying that Tyra takes no fault. Tyra's a big part of the TV show. We just didn't get into the meat and potatoes for real. Like, we was just all just like, oh, Tyra. I just feel like we didn't get in depth like we should have for America's Next Top Model. The show should have been 10 episodes. It should have been 10 episodes of a docuseries if we really wanted to get into the nitty-gritty and look at it as the nuanced show that it really was. I think that the stakes for a show like this felt higher because a lot of those girls thought it was their ticket out. Instead of like a cooking show or a dating show or even a Survivor type of show where you're like, okay, I'm going on this show to try and win this money. This was people's like, this is my shot to finally becoming a model. Some of these girls are from small, no-name ass towns that think they're gonna go somewhere and do something with this, and a lot of them were not and did not. So if you get on the show, you think you're gonna be some type of model, you let Tyra cut all your hair off, you do this photo shoot with the spider, you do this scary photo shoot where you're underwater even though you can't swim, and then you get sent home and you try and go and hit the town and try to do this modeling thing for yourself, and people are like, you were on that modeling show, you're a reality star. And you're like, so I just I did all that for nothing? These people didn't paint me on the show to be some big bad bully, and I still can't get a modeling contract? What is this? Did I just waste my time? And I feel like that's where a lot of the girls found themselves, and it just left a bitter taste in their mouth for the show overall. But one thing I will say, because I feel like it's a lot of bashing is going on, but this show was so monumental for viewers. Even if it was just a reality TV show, I think it inspired so many young girls to want to be models. I think it gave a lot of visibility for people who we may not have seen otherwise. I don't think you see the Jays. I don't think you see Miss J and Jay Manuel otherwise. I don't think you see Isis, a trans woman, on a national TV show without America's Next Top Model. This got me so excited that I feel like I want to rewatch those episodes. Like, genuinely was like, I need to run it back. We got so many iconic photos. We got Eva Marcel with that spider. We got Shandy with that pink dress. We got Yolana's picture with the helmet. Like, as much as this show got dramatic and off the rails, at the end of the day, some of those photo shoots really did eat. Like, J Manuel, Nigel Barker, they was in a bag. They were in a bag, and we ate up every single minute of it. But she is crazy as Tyra is crazy as for announcing Cycle 25. But the real question is, are you gonna watch it? Let me know down in the comments if y'all are gonna tune in for Cycle 25, and if y'all really think Tyra's the villain, because I think it's a lot more nuanced than that documentary made it seem. Let me know in the comments, and while you're down there, make sure you hit the subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.